And so I want you to understand that the more credibility you have by these media logos, the features and publications, you're going to have that trust. That trust will be increased and people will want to work with you. So how can we do this? How can we raise that visibility in the media? There are many ways. I'm going to give you 3 ideas. Number 1, you can just decide, make a decision first and foremost, make a commitment that you'll be more visible. Because to me, I found that the minute I made a commitment to be on television, the doors opened. So before I made that commitment, I had 1 or 2 in my life, 2 TV interviews that came up, 2 TV moments. But the minute I said it's going to be part of my life right now and moving forwards, it became something that happened all the time. It was almost as if once I said yes, then God just opened the doors and I just walked through the doors and met the right people and went to Ben TV, went to this channel, I just kept being connected to different TV channels, and I would pitch through Twitter. I would actually pitch through Twitter. So sometimes you can just reach out through social media if you're bold and if you're courageous, but you have to have the profile. And so I also made sure to have the blog in place. Like back then, nobody really bothered with the website. I bothered with it. I just made my own. I would just blog about my publicity. So I kind of showed the media that I would be blogging. Like if I get featured, I would blog about them. I would reach out for opportunities, and I was visible on YouTube. YouTube really changed the game for me. I think, in fact, that's where a lot of my publicity came from, because even though I never got to 100,000 followers or even up to 20,000 followers or anything like that, subscribers, but just being visible on YouTube was still working for me, because it still gave me a level of credibility, visibility, publicity. And then people would see me there and then they would book me for things. And I had a lot of high quality videos there, so that really helped too. And they can just get to see my nature, how I teach, how I present, and so on and so forth. You don't need to have the biggest YouTube channel, but I think having a YouTube channel is a very great way for people to see you. I would encourage you to have 4 or 5 videos on YouTube minimum, and make one of them be a professional reel if possible. If you can get a reel done, like a highlight reel or show reel, that would be really good. So the first thing you want to do is make a commitment. The second thing you want to do is basically get some videos up on YouTube. Professional videos of you making content where you're teaching, where you are showing your speaking gigs. It could be a combination of videos. You want to have at least 4 or 5 videos on YouTube that are really quality videos. It could be you in your office where you're filmed. We're talking about using a professional camera. Yeah, so it's not just any old scrappy thing. You can also download some of your live streams and get them onto YouTube. But this is a non-negotiable. And I don't normally say this is non-negotiable, but it is, because the truth is the media are not searching for your videos on Facebook, but they will search for you on YouTube. So that's why. And plus you can easily link some YouTube videos in your actual emails when you're pitching to the media. The third thing to do is I want to encourage you to just basically start with the network that you have. Really ask for referrals based on who you already know. So what you could do, you can try and gather a list of 20 people that you know that have been in the media before in some way, shape or form. They have a podcast show, or they have a TV show, or they have this talk show or something, they have a YouTube show. You want to start connecting with people that are already out there in a big way, or that have some form of visibility. And what I found as well, sometimes when I'm reaching out to potential clients, they end up saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not really interested in PR at the moment. However, would love to have you on my podcast instead. Would you be interested?" Or they'll say, "Oh, but however, instead, would you like to speak at my mastermind? Be one of my speakers in my mastermind." And I'm like, wow, I didn't get to work with them, but I'm now getting this visibility in front of them. So don't dismiss the personal reach outs, or the just reaching out to potential clients, reaching out to potential people that can connect you, because that's how I found some of my opportunities to come. It's just by reaching out to people. And sometimes I reached out for them to be a potential client, but then in the end, they ended up putting me forward to speak at one of their events, or maybe to be on their podcast show, or for them to interview me on their blog or something like that. So these are some of the things you can do, is just really start with the low-hanging fruit. Podcast hosts that you know, anyone that you know that has a show or a blog and they're looking for content. You can even ask if you could guest blog and things like that. Then another thing to do, I'll give you one more bonus tip, is to just start pitching to the bigger sources. The small, medium, and the big, and the huge, and the humongous sources out there, from whether that is Elle Magazine, whether it's ITV, whether it's Channel 4, whether that is ABC, CBS. Many of you, it's the thing that's stopping you from having the opportunities is just you're not bold enough to reach out. You're not bold enough to pitch, send that email, make that phone call. If you spent 2 weeks phoning the media, all these different media sources, Are you trying to tell me you will not be in the media? You would be. It would happen. That's what I did. I used to just pick up the phone and phone these schools and ask them if I could speak. And at first you get, yeah, just send us an email. And then eventually they say, yeah, can you come in tomorrow? Can you come in this week? 2 p.m.? Can you come in Tuesday, 2 p.m.? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this has happened too quickly. Obviously I just say, yes, of course I can. But in my mind, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm now going to be speaking in front of 70 kids and 70 students and I'm not ready. Well, I am, but I'm not. And I'm like, but then I just go and do it anyway. And so when the opportunities come, make sure you do it and you do it boldly. Because sometimes we might get afraid and we might want to run away. Don't run away. Push through. So if you need help with this, I am running a 3-day challenge that starts tomorrow, and it's called High-End Female Coaches and Founders in the Media. So I'm going to be talking about what does it take to be in the media, why women are struggling to be in the media, and how you can fix this. Simple steps to really shift things if you're like, oh, I'm struggling to get publicity for my brand. I'm going to really express and communicate the value of being in the media, because some of you don't know what the value is, and I'm going to make that clear. I'm going to share the benefits. You know, what are the benefits, and what can it do for your business? How can it boost your income, your sales, your impact, your credibility?